Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marana YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about motor MAP, oral questions and all. Here question set number 2. So here means explain the functions of lube oil in refrigeration system. So what are the functions of a lube oil? Mainly lubrication, seal the clearance between discharge and suction side of compressor. It will act as a coolant, actuate capacity control, dampen the noise generated by the compressor. Okay. Functions of a lube oil refrigeration systems are lubrication, seal the clearance space between the discharge and suction side of compressor. They will act as a coolant, actuate capacity control, dampen noise generated by the compressor. Okay. So what are the various windlass safeties? What are the safeties for a windlass? That means electric means electromagnetic brake, motor overload protection, short circuit protection, restart delay timer, a restart stop. Electrical safeties are electromagnetic brake, motor overload protection, short circuit protection, restart relay timer, restart stop. Manual safety devices are manual brake or mechanical brake, cable stopper, slipping clutch or torque limiter, relief valve. Okay, manual brake or mechanical brake, cable stopper, slipping clutch or torque limiter or relief valve. Okay, steering gear motor safeties are overload alarm, 200% insulation in motor, then high temperature alarm, self starting after power failure, short circuit trip, phase failure alarm. One of the steering motor is fed from the emergency bus. Okay, then hydraulic side there is two trips, low level cutout and high lube oil temperature cutout. Okay, steering gear motor safeties are overload alarm, 200% insulation in motor, high temperature alarm, self starting after power failure, short circuit trip, phase failure alarm. One of the steering motor is fed from emergency bus. Hydraulic safeties they are low level cutout, high lube oil temperature cutout. Okay, what are overhead crane safeties? So engine room overhead crane safeties are, so the current to the motor filled coils passes through solenoid coil of a brake which is magnetized and holds a brake against a spring and releases the rotor. Here current to the motor filled coil, they will pass through solenoid coil of a brake and this solenoid coil is getting magnetized and hold a brake against spring and releases the rotor. In case of power failure, the solenoid demagnetized and brake is applied. Okay, here safeties are limit switch. There are limit switch, forward and aft limit switch is there, port and starboard limit switch is there, then hoisting and lowering, that is going up and down switch is there, and prevents moments more than all allowed limits. Okay, there are 6. Then forward, aft, port, starboard, hoisting and lowering prevents moment more than allowed limits. Okay, then overload trip is there, dead man's handle, guard over pulley, locking device on the lifting hook, mechanical locking to avoid crane movement during heavy weather. Okay, overhead crane safeties are current to motor filled coil pass through solenoid coil of brake and it is getting magnetized and hold brake against spring and releases the motor. In case of power failure, solenoid is demagnetized and brake is applied. Safeties are the limit switch on the forward and aft, port and starboard, hoisting and lowering prevents movements more than allowed limits. There is overload trip, dead man's handle, guards over pulley, locking device on lifting hook, mechanical locking to avoid crane movement during heavy weather. So why there is a starting air overlap provided in diesel engine? To give positive starting in correct direction, starting ability from any position, if one of valve is misfunctioning, engine can still be started. Okay, why there is starting air overlap provided in diesel engine means to give positive starting in correct direction, starting ability from any position, if one of the valve is malfunctioning, engine can be still started. Okay, why there is starting air overlap means to give positive starting in correct direction, starting ability from any position, if any one of the valve is malfunctioning, engine can still be started. Significance of firing order. These are also important questions are significance of firing order. Balance of primary and secondary inertia forces, balancing of primary and secondary inertia forces to assist exhaust grouping, for distribution of stress over length of crankshaft and optimum bearing load, for distribution of stress over length of crankshaft and optimum bearing load, firing interval for even turning moment, So what are the reason for forming in refrigeration compressor crankcase? These are also questions that we already discussed. That means reason for forming in refrigeration compressor crankcase is due to rapid boiling out of refrigerant dissolved in oil when the pressure is suddenly reduced. When the pressure is suddenly reduced, there will be rapid boiling out of refrigerant dissolved in the oil. So when the compressor start operating, if a large quantity of refrigerant has been dissolved, then large quantity of refrigerant boils out and they can be carried out through refrigerant lane. When the compressor start operating, large quantity of refrigerant has been dissolved. Okay, then large quantity of refrigerant will boil out and carried out through refrigerant lane. The reason for this forming happening is because liquid in suction lane. The liquid in suction lane, this can be happen due to thermal expansion valve, thermostatic expansion valve. They are stuck open or incorrect superheating setting, sensing bulb is not closing, overcharge, etc. So other says crankcase heater not working, compressor capacity too high at the starting, expansion valve giving too small superheat, that is example, that is oil charge is less. These may be the reasons. So we will be continuing with the question session soon. Thank you.